Well,
I have a session. Okay, Kelvin. Okay, so that's for the YouTube, right? Thank you.
that's a big thing.
I'm just gonna
food extractor.
Allora. Okay, I've seen it, my dear. So I go maybe somebody should come and ask me for those this is what I do. For those using YouTube. Why am I seeing DT and not my? Is that how it works? No, I think I'm not listening. But tell them. So why is it showing differently? Maybe. Baby, oh, come on, babe. So I send last one, Kuni. I can do near you can be in Pelessia, babe. I'm gonna drama who cry, Radi is Christian. People's Day. You can go be to it. I mean, I'm on the but what can be so clear.
Holy.
Let me see. HTTPS. Inbound. Just a few minutes, we should be done. I'm not doing something right, okay? YouTube, so you can't get to www.u I'm in link my rep DOWSEQ. with the milk mother, but I'm not going to see another one. Kaba sign truck ko be na battery jige be na lolo nyo ha ko battery no o gbo kuma I have both I have the YouTube and I have why is it not allowing me? I'm on the 2016. It's been like that. Oh, I'm Mama JJ. Really? People struggling. There's only one person who is saying, the other GT. Try the password, let me see. Why is first not working? Normal. Ladies standing up. What's up, like that boy? So a long day on. So that was good.
Declaring, announcing, singing and shouting, Lord, you reign. With a grateful heart, we lift our hands to you, proclaiming, rejoicing, dancing, Lord, you Worthy to be praised. I'll praise you greatly in all the earth. Father, you reign. We worship you, Jesus. Somebody lift your holy name to Jesus. Say, I will.
I'm just gonna start so that I can run it into and then he can start it exactly on time. Please let me let me see any questions on this. The internet. Okay. This I want to get them. Okay. I wanted you to log on then I can start. Theo.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. All right. So good evening, everyone. You're welcome to the HR bar. Theo, please put off the music.
Oh, I thought you were.
Theo.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's off.
Music off. Right. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. Today's session is on self-awareness. As you may have seen, I sent you a short bio of my guest today at the bar. If you give me a moment. Okay. So Dr. Theo Taki may be new to most of you, and some perhaps you already do know him, but Theo is a personal friend. He's an ex-Navy cop, if that's the right word. And as you may have read, he's the founder of Hard Charger Hub. We are into partnership with Hard Charger. We'll run you through that on a later date. But Theo is a leading behavioral research person. He's into coaching, he's into motivational speaking. He's an author of many books. With time, we will introduce the books to you as well. Theo calls himself a change engineer. of course, being in the military has also influenced what he does. He's an edutainer. Now, for those of you who joined in early, I'm sure you heard him playing a lot of music. He said, a DJ, as we say here, DJ Chamilala. So that's Theo for you. He has authority in change management, and he's done a lot of work in that space. He is also an adjunct lecturer with some universities, even here in Ghana. And very soon, we're looking forward to having him when the borders are opened. So tonight with me, I have Dr. Theo Taki, who will be running us through self-awareness. So Theo, I just want to quickly ask you so that you can run us through it. What is self-awareness, and how does that really impact our performance? Now, is it possible that one can actually go through life and not become self-aware? Is that really something that can happen to a person?
Thank you for the opportunity. Let me first of all say welcome to everybody, and also giving me the opportunity to speak with your august people. And I know most of them are experts, so I guess they will understand. But thank you.
Yeah, Theo, sorry, just one moment before you continue.
Can you hear me?
Please, all participants, can you hear us? You can just quickly unmute and let me know if you have any challenges. You can backdoor as well. But once the session starts, ground rules, please mute your audio. Yeah, if at any point in time you're having challenges with your network, I would suggest that you put off your video as well, because sometimes it's interrupted. And then if you have questions, as we normally do, you either wait for Theo to finish, or you can just type it in the chat bar and we will read it. For those on YouTube, please bear in mind that we would always have a delayed feed. And so it will take a moment for me to read out your questions. So please be patient. I will definitely read all the questions for Theo to answer them before we are done. And so those are the few ground rules. Please do not have me come back to ask you to mute your microphones. It is disrespectful, please. So let's please start. Over to you, Doc.
All right. Well, thank you for the opportunity and welcome everybody. My name is Theo Taki. I'm a brief introduction about myself. I'm the last of four, 3 boys and a lady. So yeah, that's about me. And my first degree is in accounting. Second degree is in finance, specifically treasury management, and then my doctorate is in organizational development and change management. So I mean, I speak your language too, HR. So yeah, back to the topic. So self-awareness. First of all, let's take it from the awareness. If I say you are aware, that means you kind of notice everything that goes on around you, right? So that's you're aware. I mean, Cynthia mentioned that I'm an ex-US Navy, so I'll pretty much coin some of the things from my military background and my civilian background. That way, it will make sense. But for the most part, I lean towards more of the military because we are more strategic and tactical. So when you bring into the corporate world, you succeed, and that's the more reason why today's session is more important to anybody who want to go higher. All right. So you're aware of your surroundings, everything going around you. So we have the internal, and then the externals. In other words, what is around you and what is going on within you. Now, the awareness of this side is the external that you can control for the most part, like weather, traffic, all kind of stuff, everything around you, government policies, everything. You can control that. None of that. The organizations, for the most part, sometimes to what they are doing. If you are not at the top there, you can't control that. So none of that. Now, self-awareness is actually turning everything right 360 and focusing towards you. You, what you can do, what things that you can take control of. In other words, how do you react to what is around you? So this is important because we as a human, you have so many aspects of you. Facets, in other words. I mean, more school now, the gay ones now, and the Cynthia and the rest. People slow down for me. I'm a gamma. So I mean, the facets of you have different aspects of you, areas. if I may, so to speak. So, in other words, because you have so many areas, if you don't pay attention, you would dominate and develop one and leave the other, or a few of them and leave the other. However, if you want to succeed and have a fruitful life and operate at your peak performance, you can go with two or three and leave the rest, because it will become handy and then you become deficient in some areas. And for most part, HR officers and HR managers and executives, you guys have power to change people, touch people. But for the most part, you guys, the ones that I have experienced, a lot of them abuse it. So in other words, they have blind spots they don't know, they are not aware of. So it applies to everybody. But HR, today we'll specifically talk about, so self-awareness is knowing your blind spot, knowing everything about you and how you can, the ones that your strength and weaknesses. If you do your SWOT and analysis, your SWOT analysis, your strength and your weaknesses as a human being, as you, your person, so that my name is Theo. What are the aspects of me? So we'll break it down. All right, we'll break it down and then we'll take it and then we'll come back to the practicalities of how you can take all of them, hold them, and then go with them, all of them. Right. All right. So now, if you break it down, all these things, all these aspects of you that I'm talking about, on a very good day, it has to be neutral. In other words, so that you're not anxious about anything, you're not stressing about anything, it has to be neutral. Now, what somebody will ask, what do you mean by neutral? So when you get to that point where you are aware of how, the accountants, let me use accountants or HR for that. Oh goodness, excuse me. For that matter, when you get to the point where ending of month report is coming and you're so anxious, or a lot of stuff, deadlines and stuff, and you're anxious about stuff, and it can get to the point where you make mistakes or you can't sleep, or it affect your children, or it affect friends and family around you, or your performances in a team, then you're not neutral. Like at that point, your state of mind, your emotions, everything else is not neutral. So you are not going to produce your best. You're not going to be in peak performance. You may decide to ignore it, but people around you will know. Maybe few friends will know, who are very good friends in terms with you, will notice and then bring your attention to it. So anything that takes you away from the neutral point. It takes you away from the neutral point where you're producing your peak performance. Then you are not balanced. So self-awareness, knowing when you are balanced and when you are not. So if you don't know your blind spot, you probably don't know when you are even off balance. When you are stressing, you are off balance. When you're anxious about stuff, you are off balance. When your mind is wandering, you are off balance. If you're overweight, you are off balance. If you don't feel confidence of yourself because your body is not in a good shape, or you don't have that strength, or you're thinking about somebody who is better than you, or anything, you're going to compete, anything, you're off balance. Now, all through my coaching and mentoring time with students and other executives, I realized that most times people are anxious about, or they are in competition with somebody else. And what I realized was, the person that you're in competition, and for that matter, you are afraid or scared or whatever, it's throwing you off balance. That person is also scared or afraid of you, and probably you don't even know. So stuff like that, all these facets and stuff, your mind, your spirit, your body, your emotions, and everything, So we'll wrap it up. I'll brief it up, but you connect the pieces. Now, these stuff that I'm talking about is so real that in the military we take advantage of that, and that's the more reason why we produce peak things, and our peak performance, our research, our everything. Because at any point in time, we are aware of what we want to, what the missions, what we want to do in life, or the goal or the mission of anything, and what the requirement is, what state of mind you have to be in, what kind of body you need, the condition. We need to condition our body for the particular goal that we are looking for, right? And whatever mission. So half the time, if we have a mission that we have to go to, self-awareness. Now we prep our body, we prep our minds, we prep our spirit and everything. That's the point where you see people, those who are Muslims will be calling them their God, the Christians doing their worship, the Buddhists and others, but you're doing yoga and other stuff. We align everything. We align our mind with the mission. We align our spirit and everything with the mission. Our body, we tune it. That's the time when we camp. They put us together. We run like around 4 a.m. We wake up we sleep around 12 or something. We run around 4 a.m. We are up with the sun, snow, sun, rain, whatever. We don't care. We run, we swim, we shoot, we do everything. So we prep the body. And I'll break it down. Okay, so self-awareness, that's just about it. So being aware of your surroundings and being aware of yourself. So what makes you produce at your peak performance? If you don't know this, then you're not aware of yourself. Half the time, some people don't even know how to keep friendship, relationship. They say the wrong stuff. They notice and stuff that you can ask the same. You can ask. I can ask Cynthia a question, and somebody else will ask the same thing, and Cynthia will be offended. Why? Because of how you asked, or the timing, or maybe in between you probably start a conversation and ask the question, and then you sandwich the question. In other words, that's what we use in the military. So you be having a conversation, chipping, and then conclude it, and Cynthia will not be offended, not even realize that you've asked the same question that you wanted. But if probably I've asked Cynthia, hey Cynthia, this, and then why are you asking me such a dumb question? But I asked in the middle of a conversation. So those are stuff. If you know yourself, then you know how to deal with other people. That's for the most part, people don't know how to keep relationship or at the workplace. They can't work in a team or other stuff. Because if you don't know yourself, I don't know how to deal with you because I don't know myself. So your performance in a team, in a workplace, in a team, being a team player also depends on how well you know yourself. So that if you put all your stuff together, yourself, all your things together, and you complete yourself. I know if I'm not, and I know I'm not good at relationship, I probably will find somebody else who is good, and to call my attention to something, hey, like you look too serious. That way the person will be honest to you. But you have to first of all need to know your blind spot first. If you don't know, then you're just carrying along being normal, but it's not normal to other people. And that's the more reason why probably to them you bring negative energy, and that messes everything. So if you also know that probably you don't perform well in the morning. I'm a nocturnal human being. In the evening, my energy is high here. But during the day, I'm up, but I'm not up, that kind of stuff. So in the military, we do that. We kind of schedule your stuff so that the most important things, if you know yourself, you schedule the most important and difficult things during the time when your energy is high here. So if you know yourself like me, that in the morning when I wake up, I'm going around my duties, I'm going about everything, yet I'm not really there. Some of you guys, that's why they drink coffee and everything. They are not there, and I'm not a coffee drinker. So it takes me a while to wake up. I'm up, I'm doing everything. I mean, I'm answering calls, everything, but I'm not up. I don't want to do anything logic. So there are a lot of people like that. You have to figure out when to do what, especially those you prioritize everything you need to do at work, or including your family life and everything. I realized I kind of came out like my mom. She used to cook and wash and everything at night. During the day, she's just taking it easy. So I realized I took the same traits. We are night hawk. We can do all our major work in the evening, and then in the day we are just answering calls, just checking the emails and do other stuff. So these are stuff that if you are self-aware, you understand, you take that to the job too, so that you prioritize your stuff and then see what you can do during the time when you are performing at your peak. Now, how do you perform at your peak? This is where we're going to break it down to. How do you get to the point where you are aware to the extent that you're performing at your peak, either at work, church, wherever? Now, 3 or 4 different elements or 5 different elements comes into it. Because everything we are discussing here, we're going to break it down to how you're going to perform at your peak, how you're going to get that promotion, how you're going to get noticed and everything. Because in the military, where I served for 8 years in the US Navy, you have a bunch of smart guys that they put us together. We're talking about US Navy. You're talking about maybe 1 million people all over the states, from all the 50 states together. Some of them overseas doing their mission and everything. Yet we come and then we write an exam. We have our evaluation at the end of every 6 months, and then we put it together a year. Then they do a big one for you. You take your test twice a year and everything, biannually. And then they put it all together. And then when you pass your test, then they go to the scorecard. Your commander has a say in how you get promoted or when you get promoted and everything. So if you know that this is the kind of situation you find yourself, then you need to be self-aware. If you are not in good terms with, if you don't make an attempt regardless how good you are, to have a good relationship with your commander, so that you go the extra mile to do stuff to be noticed. It's like you're performing, but okay, yes. And guess what? You guys are HR, so you know better than. But performance is measured by yourself, what you are doing, and the perception of whoever is appraising you. So you can be, to you, you're doing something great and seriously out there. But to me, evaluating you at that, I don't notice what you're doing. So it's off balance, kind of. So how do you get these stuff? You need to create a relationship. Have a relationship with your teammate, a good relationship at that. Bring that positive energy. So if you are not aware yourself of the stuff going on and the discussions, pick stuff, pick information, pick all those stuff. Check their body language, check everything when you're dealing with, or you're working with your teammates, when you're dealing with them, you have a project, everything. Check how they respond to you. Check how when you enter into the room and everything, their body language there. So if you don't pick all those stuff, you're not self-aware. You're just walking in there, and your promotion will be delayed. Because I rose through the rank because I became aware, and I have to play by the rules. Whether you like it or not, there are politics everywhere. You put best among equals in one place. One has to come out as the person who is ranked above them. And it's not only your intellectual, what you know, or because I realized that, look, we all know. That's why we made it there, because we wrote a test. Physically, we are strong. Mentally, we're conditioned and everything. We can adapt. We can do everything. We can execute. But it goes beyond that. These soft things, the self-awareness, how you take care of yourself, your appearance, your grooming, your relationship with the people. Do you bring the energy, the vibe? Like when we have a project, if you are not part of it, they're like, oh, I want this person on my team. How do they want it? Because you bring some kind of aura, some energy, something that we just can't point hands on. Those are soft things, soft skills that we cannot. So if you are not aware of yourself, and your personality comes to play in this, that's why I'm saying this topic is very big, but we're going to break it down to just 3 things. Now, if I'm molding it down to what you can do to be at your peak performance, I'll break it down to your mind first, right? Developing a strong mind. Second, developing a strong body. Third, developing a strong spirit. And then fourth, developing a strong community. And by community, I mean your friends, the social people, the people around you. Now, let's start one by one. Strong mind, right? What does it take to develop a strong mind? Now, you know what you want in life. You know your goal. You know where you want to get to. Because I realize anytime in my coaching career, anytime I talk to people who they have a vision of where they want to see themselves in the next 5-10 years. However, they're not really ready to process the requirement to get there. So, okay, yes, I want it, but how strong do you want? Do you want it like the air that you breathe, to the point that you're ready to sacrifice stuff, to forgo certain things, sleep time, cut it off with friends, the drinks, the party, and everything? Nothing in this world that is worthwhile comes easy. That's what I tell everybody. The strong mind, this is where you need to be certain. Okay, rain or shine, this is what I want to do. And that's why, for me, I lean towards the military. We don't care what kind of weather, what the condition, what the government says and everything. This is a mission. We are going. This is our goal. We have to achieve it by all means and at all cost. So that if you are aware of yourself, your mind, your mind is made up. I want to be like Cynthia in the next 4 years. It takes some process. So a strong mentality will not relent when the troubled times come. When you knock on some doors, some executives, you want to talk to them, have an appointment, and they're not opening the doors, or sending letters to other organizations for sponsorships or for stuff, and they're not bringing their ideas together, or they're not responding like you want. Do you just throw in the towel and just let it go? At that point, you're not strong-willed in what you want to do. Because I can will for you, I can tell you, I can encourage you, but there's some stuff you have to develop yourself. So it's the same way you're in organizations, you want to be noticed for whatever you're doing. You have to go out, be strong-willed, in strong mind, have that strong mind. This is exactly what but it doesn't mean that just go out there and be rude or be overly competitive but you have a goal and you don't slide in it. Nothing slides it. Nothing shifts it. Nothing. I mean, the goal remains the same, but the process can change. So if you had that strong mind that this is my goal, I've nailed it in. In the military, that we say lock it in. When you lock it, nothing shifted. How it remains the same in the lock. However, it can bounce off because the wind or the tides can, but it's still locked. So that's your self-awareness, your strong mind. This is what I want to do. I want to. Some of you HRs, you're expert in your game. You need to open your own consultancy. However, you're scared. You're not strong-willed. You're not strong-willed to sacrifice a little bit, and then in the end, like a year or two, you have that thing. Because some of you are entrepreneurs working for people, and it doesn't work for you because you're always complaining. Set up your own. Set up your own and work by your own rules. Work by your own. That way, like, you're fulfilled. It's as simple as that. Because if you can't join, then so you play by the rules. In other words, strong mind and then strong body. Now, in the military, the strong body and the strong mind is very important to us, because when you take a man's mind, you can control a man's mind, you control the body. But no, it's as simple as that. That's why the slave trade worked, and it's still working, because they've made us believe that whatever is coming from Africa or whatever, it's not. It's compared to theirs, ours is inferior. That's how we will sell all the raw materials to them, and then they will come back and sell everything to us in a refined form, and we still, we throw away our traditional wears, and then we wear foreign wears to work every day, and then we wear ours once in a day, like Friday. I mean, really? Other people are doing the opposite. So if you can capture a man's mind, the body is useless. So if you develop a strong mind, it's not enough. You develop a strong body too. How do you develop a strong body? Watch what you eat. I mean, prior to doing presentations or anything, or my major test, or during my research, when I was doing my PhD, I always want to remain alert. So this is my self-awareness. I realize that there's some food when I eat, I'm lazy. I don't want to read no more. My logic, my reasoning is not as sharp as like before. So this also affects your performance if you're working with people, if you have a group project. Dealing with you have a serious presentation, watch what you eat. There's some food, it doesn't make you alert. Some food make you alert. I, for once, this is practical. I go green for the whole week if I have a serious presentation. I go green, less carbohydrates and small protein and other stuff. But for the most part, my milkshake is for the most part what I'm on. So I'm on milkshake with my smoothies and stuff. It makes me alert to everything and receptive, and I'm able to absorb whatever book volumes of books. I can absorb it and do a presentation, and I don't have to look on anything. So this is self-awareness. Somebody can operate on meat and be fine. Somebody can operate on name it, and be fine. But you have to know yourself. If you are not self-aware, guess what? Everything, if your body is not at top peak, it's not performing at the peak, your performance obviously is garbage in, garbage out. To every cause, there's a reaction. If I eat banku in the evening when I am a nocturnal human being, night hawk, I fly during the night. That's when my peak performance, that's when I'm writing my books, that's when I'm seriously, so to me, the night is my day and the day is my night, because I know myself. I know when I perform better. During the night, that's not when I eat banku, because it will affect my performance. I won't give up. I won't give up my best. You get what I'm saying? So know what food that you eat that makes you alert for your body, and then get enough rest. Your performance is being influenced or impacted by the choices you make and the lifestyle that you live, period. So you can't leave it to chance. It has to be consciously, you have to make a conscious effort to grind the body, to adapt to certain things, work the body, let the body respond to what you want to do. That's what we do best in the military. So if we have a mission, we want to invade a country, we watch their temperature, the food they eat, what kind of religion, are they elite people? Are they, all those kind of stuff. We watch all those things. Now we train ourselves harder than what we know. That's why like earlier on I was talking about knowing yourself and picking your surroundings. Watch what is going on around you. So that's the self-awareness. So the self-awareness is two, the self and then the awareness. How you respond to what is going on around you. But first of all, build here. yourself, build you the self, know your blind spots and everything, your weakness and your strength, put it together. Now leverage your strength against the weaknesses. That way, every time you step foot, anywhere, in any presentation, in any work and everything, you come out confidently because you've dominated your strength to match your weak, knock off your weaknesses. Now, when you present yourself, you're as confident as anything. So confidence doesn't just come, you don't just, it's not sold on the market that you can go and buy. I know you guys know this already, but sometimes we need to reiterate this. If I work out, look, if you find somebody who says I work out, you don't have to tell me. By the cuts in your body and how you feel confidently, I know you work out. It's the same way if your brain, you have that smart brain or your brain is locked in. When I talk to you, I know what you're passionate about. I can tell self-awareness. So the same thing, you can play oblivion about stuff going on around you and expect to perform or expect to do some magically your body is going to respond or you're going to produce some output. Yes, you can be producing the output, but at what rate and at what time? And do we need that output now? Maybe we don't. I was listening to Asamoah Gyan the other time, and he was saying he doesn't do much workout like training prior to a game because it will wear him out. So he trains like the week before he's doing his maximum training, 2 days to time. He takes it slowly. Some people like LeBron James, he will slow down 2 days, 3 days to NBA serious matches. That's when he's training back to back. So it works different with everybody. So if you know yourself, in the end is the goal where you want to go, what you want to achieve is what matters. That's why I said when you lock it in strong mind, this is my goal. However, how you train the body depends on what puts you in that peak performance and when. I can stand pressure. I will read around, do a little bit, but 1 week to examination, that's when I hit harder. That's when I don't sleep. That's when or 1 week to a presentation or deadlines. I have something to present to board or anything. That's when I do more. That's when I sit down and then I work the body, I work the brain. It's different with everybody. So don't chart your own path. In other words, know yourself. Know the surrounding. Know how you respond to food and at what time. What makes you alert. The strong mind comes in. So the body is very important. Your rest, have enough rest is very important, especially prior to a big project. Have enough rest and watch what you eat. And drinking too much water during time when you need to be in a serious meeting and everything, then you're excusing yourself and everything. It doesn't speak well of you. You don't know yourself. Unless it's a medical condition, then I can understand. But all these things come to play. So your performance at work, because I know I have found myself. So when I'm assessing somebody else, I assess based on my knowledge, what I have been able to do to myself. So if you find somebody like me, I dare say that sometimes we are hard to please because I am hard on myself already. I'm a military guy. The circumstance made me, so I'm a product of my environment. 8 years in the US Navy has taught me enough. So it's the same way with other people. Know yourself. If you know yourself, then you can be able to match up and know the requirement what other people need, and then you can work with them. You get what I mean. So that's the body. Now I'll go. Hello. And then you have to develop strong spirit. Now, the spirit that I'm talking about, it's not the religious stuff that I'm talking. The strong spirit is the love, like come out of everything and love what you're doing. So for the most part, HRs, like other people, like any other, they complain about the kind of work that they do, and you find yourself in the wrong place. Because I've also heard on the platform a lot of people they were doing IT, they had IT, some of them engineers, some, and then eventually somehow life brought them to the right place, because they realized that they love human interaction or managing people or dealing with people gives them fulfillment and other stuff. So you have to assess yourself. Most of you guys, you're HRs, but you're in the wrong place. You know your relationship with people is not all that there, yet you are HR. So it's affecting everybody else around you, and they don't see your HR-ness, if I can use that. I mean, sorry, pardon my. They don't see, because HR, you're supposed to, develop people. Let them be at their peak performance when they come into contact with you. They should learn something. They should come to you and leave, a better version of themselves. But because you yourself, you've not seen the better version of yourself. You're not self-aware. You've not developed yourself. You don't have that confidence. Your fulfillment, it's a work for you. Yes, work. So yes, I came to work 8 to, so but when you find somebody who is passionate, that has spirit of the spirit has infested the whole body, the mind, the soul. It's in alignment with your strong mind, and then your body is also exuding that energy, the aura around you, your confidence about your body type, because you've worked on it. Nothing should be left to chance. In America, we say something, being cute is expensive, like it's a full-time job. In other words, being self-aware that this is how I want my body to look, this is how I want this is my mentality. I didn't just put it there. I had to consciously work on myself for the most part. So if you just sit there and expect life to just happen to you, it will take you just like a butterfly that the wind will just all paper in there that the wind will. So strong mind, lock it in, and be conscious that if your personality is not the phlegmatic type, or we'll go into that later, or the sanguine type, that you are out there, you love people and everything, then consciously you have to tell yourself that to deal with these people and to get the good performance out of them, I need to relate to them in a better way. I say relationship brings the best out of people than talking to them. And most of HRs talk at people instead of talking to people, because okay, we control the rules, we control your time schedule and everything. So like we are the masters of no. I've seen some HRs who are they are relationship oriented and they get the best out of people. So you should be self-aware. If you're not that type, HR is not for you. Probably you found yourself here because of the job. But for me, HR, human resource, it's the human first before, and then the resource. So the relationship is, so if you are not aware of yourself, your blind spots, some things are blinding you, and you feel it's more of work than enjoying the thing so others can enjoy you and enjoy the work you are doing too, then there's a problem. That's why people don't quit jobs, they quit people. For the most part, most places I work in Ghana, when I finished my bachelor's and I left and I transitioned, that was because I was avoiding some people, because they probably, my presence irritates their demon. So every time I bring out the worst in them, and so HR, especially, you interview a lot of your friends, HRs are this, they are wicked. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm just saying. So what can we do to make it better? Self-awareness, your relationship with people. So I talked about strong mind. I talked about strong body, which is easy to do. It's the difficult but easy to do. And then strong spirit. Love what you do. It's not I'm not talking about the charismatic thing, Heli Baba. No, the spirit to do it, like the love around the work that you do. It's impact on the performance. If you find somebody who is passionate about what they do, you sit with them 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and the impact is so great. I mean, I met Cynthia through a friend, and we've not even met physically, but through the phone conversation and everything, I like her already. So, and I'm sure it's the same, it's reciprocal. So it's knowing yourself and how you can the self that you the person, what kind of weakness that you have that is going to transmit negative energy to people, and then you work on it. That way, every time these people see that aura, that feeling, because in my 8 years in the military, I've been through different units. So one time I was with Expeditionary Medical Facility, where we were more like the emergency services that on the land, the ambulances, but we were operating the chopper, the military chopper, so in the air. So we go to the various missionary places. I don't want to mention names, but and then if people, some of our sailors or the army guys or they're hurt, we go there, we pick them up in the military chopper, because if it's a very urgent, and the chopper, we send them to a correct place, peaceful place, and then operate on them, and probably when they're healed, we bring them back, or we send them back home or something. So, and then I was driving tanks, the tanker, the one we shoot the bullets and everything. I was driving, at some point I was driving cranes. I was learning everything I can find my hands on. If they are like, oh, there's spots, somebody who want to learn, because this is the thing, you don't know what will become handy when you leave the military. And it gives you experience. You don't have to pay. They've paid everything. Military is big, and all these experts are there. So be part of everything. I was accounting, and I was doing at one point. I was doing pharmacy technician. I went on there. I liked it, how dispensing medication and everything, how medically staff people can behave differently. So I went on there and I took my certifications in that. So I realized I was enjoying it. You see, so life will take you through some path. Be aware of your surroundings and everything, and then pick the lesson. Live in the moment. Pick the lessons from it. So I'm giving you my practical experiences. Yours will be different, but however, synchronize it and know yourself and know when you perform better, how you can perform better, and then it impacts the people around you. That's how you perform. You perform better, it impacts the people around you. When you get to that point where everybody else is like you are the only one performing better in your team, you are wrong. Let me say it again. If you find yourself, you are the only one in the HR department or any other department you find yourself, and you are the only one doing the best work and all doing the hard work, you are wrong. Because your self-awareness should impact your environment. So that if you're strong mind, strong body, in the conversation and they feel how confident you are, it will, and your relationship with people, it will impact them. It's either north, east, or west. There's no in between. Either you are, every time you see people, your energy and the smile that you, and it's either it's fake. If it's real, they know, because people pick vibes. I'm trained my instinct. I pick vibes. So when I'm talking to people, I'm not listening to the words. I'm watching the vibes. And I'm sure there are a lot of you like that. You can be talking to somebody and the person doesn't like you. Yet you're talking, you can tell, like, I'm not listening to the words. I'm going beyond the words. So it's real how a lot of things come to impact on our performance at work. What you have to do is pay attention to yourself, how you react to things, what you know about yourself. So I told you how I work better at night. During the day, I'm just walking through the day. So that 8 hours that a lot of you guys are sleeping, that's when I work best. So during the day, I can nap a little bit, and then because I'm okay, I'm my peak performance. So when we're in school, back in the university, you see me doing all the drama and everything, and then when they go back to sleep, I don't sleep, because that's when my energy is up. I got to know that very early in my life. A lot of you don't know, because during the day, your performance at work is bad. Also because you've not noticed when you do your best work. And I'm sure HRs, a lot of people, they bring you to, these guys are good. However, their performances, when you appraise them, but when you talk to them, they are smart and everything. So this is where, if you know yourself, it's easy to also help somebody do that turning point. If you don't know, then it's hard for you to also teach somebody. You can only help somebody cross a river when you have crossed the river yourself. It's as simple as that. There's no in between. You can't teach me anything you don't know and you haven't practiced. I will know. It's a vibe. So I mentioned strong mind, and then strong body, strong spirit, and then strong community or social network. I call it social bond. I'm using my American terms. So social network, right? It's very important. The people around you. I can't stress on that enough. You have done your part, which is a strong mind, a strong body, and a strong spirit. But the people around you, the friends you choose, the circle in which you choose to operate in, can also affect your performance at work. I worked at Unilever right after school, after university, my bachelor's. When I got there, kind of, like their strong work culture, ethics, and everything, I loved it. It trained me. But when I got there, I was kind of like, I didn't have the confidence because, first time out of school, I found myself in a big company, Unilever, and I was in the accounts department, treasury for that matter. And all these guys are guys. I went to meet guys who've been in the game, who've been working for like 5 years, 6 years, and everything. And then, kind of my confidence kind of dropped low because, but then I realized that, okay, the other way to overcome it is to have a relationship with them so they can teach me. And then in some few months, my confidence, so I was that person who will finish my work, my schedule, whatever they gave me. And then I'll go to my superiors, like my immediate team lead and everything. And I'll be like, oh, is there anything else I can do to help? because I'm done with mine. And I make sure they check it, they double check it for me. I'm giving practical. So, and then they double check it for me. And then I move on to the, like, my boss or my team lead. I don't just sit down pretending to be working, just whiling away the time so I can go. I was ready to double up and learn other things. Within 3, 4 months, 5 months, when I was at Unilever, I was able to relieve a lot of them to go on vacation. I was doing their report, like, so I was doing it while they are there, shadowing them. A lot of accounts. And if you know Unilever and those multinational companies, they are strict on their culture and their reports and how it should come out, and because it's consumed by the higher hierarchy. So they don't joke with that. You can joke with yourself, but not their report or their work. So get into the flow, learn the thing, the nitty-gritty and everything, why they make that report, why is it necessary. You understand all those technicalities, and then you bring it together. I learned the thing while they were there, shadowing them, preparing it so they can check the report. In 3, 4 months, I had mastered everything, and then I can relieve them. They can go confidently, and our treasury manager treasury director can look at it, and then that's it. They can go 2 weeks, 1 month, they can travel. Some of them travel. So self-awareness. I knew immediately I was scared, but I turned my barriers into opportunities. And this is where you align your mind, your body, because I had to spend extra hours at work, sometimes weekends. I will ask them to come teach me something when they're free, and then some of them will opt because now you want to go on vacation, and I'm also ready to learn. So let's leverage it. My weakness, which is where I'm not confident, come and teach me. Your strength is you come and teach me, and the other benefits is for you so you can go on vacation. So this is bring back to the point where if you are the only person performing better at your company, in your department, and nobody else can do what you're doing, you are wrong. Self-awareness, clearly, like you are wrong. Your blindness. You can argue it all you want. In the military, it's teamwork and team. That's how we succeed than any other organization put together. Our research and everything is on point because if my commander should fall down now, that one person can pick up one time and be the next commander and be leading us because we know everything they're doing. They tell us everything. We go through the process with them. So it doesn't just come easy. Most organizations I go, when I left Unilever, my standard was this because I was trained. I went to other organizations and I was frustrated because I've been trained well. It's the same thing that happening to most of you HRs. If your people are complaining, then you are not doing your job. Make it easy for people to come to work. Make it easy for people to understand stuff. If it's the law behind whatever they are doing, break it down to them. The human first, and then the resource. So you are managing human resource. Now let it sink a little bit. Human resource. How do you get humans to change? It's a relationship. So self-awareness in this case is very important. Know yourself first, where you're strong at. If you're not strong and you're like maintaining friendship with people, get somebody to be calling your attention or get some coaching and mentoring and everything. Your HR doesn't mean you're epitome of the wisdom or epitome of how best practices and everything should work. If you yourself, you've not overcome certain things or barriers in your life, you transmit it and you don't know. You bring it to work. You can't complain. If you are complaining and the other people are complaining, or you don't like what you are doing, you're not passionate about it, and your personality is affecting whatever, or your home thing, how you're keeping everything, you are affecting all of us. You probably don't know. We get the vibe. We feel the vibe. If I walk into your office, first time, 2 minutes after talking to you, I know I can feel the vibe, and I know if I want to engage you or not. If I engage you, probably because I need to do a lot of.
Hello, Theo. Are you there? Oh, if I check yours, let me see. Hello. Hello, Theo. No, I think I lost him totally. I lost Theo. Dr. Taki. Dr. Taki. I think I lost him. Hello? I'm just going to try to re-establish connection with Dr. Taki. I think he lost connection, but also delivery by far. Please give me a moment whilst I try to re-establish contact with him.
Mercy. 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 Mercy.
Hello? Please, who is that wanting to break our ear? Okay, so I think Theo is still trying to reorganize himself and connect again. He seems to have lost complete connection. Any thoughts by far on the presentation? Do you have any submissions? Have we understood by far where he's driving at? Are you with me?
Yes, we are with you.
Right, so that's good. Eunice, I can hear you. Do you have any concerns by far regarding the topic we're treating on self-awareness?
Yes, I think that personally it's a very good topic. It's one of the things that I have been going through myself in the past, let me say 1 year. I don't think I trained it as self-awareness, but I kind of have gone through a certain different phases that is leading me to redefine who I am, what I really want to be doing, and all of that. So I'm really enjoying what he's teaching. At the beginning, I didn't even read the topic, so I was kind of confused what he was discussing. But I went back to read the topic, and I really understood. So I'm really enjoying what he's doing and where the topic is moving to. And I mean, finding what you really want to do, where you really want to fit in, where you really can fit in, and how to be more productive in that area, I think is best for all of us than just doing it because we want a job or we want a salary.
That's absolutely true. That's absolutely. Thank you so much, Eunice. Emma, do you have any thoughts for us? Miss Aqua, what are your thoughts by far on the topic we're discussing? Theo.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Check your microphone. Is it unmuted?
No, it's not. But is it? Can you hear me?
Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Theo, I can't hear you.
Okay.
I hear him all.
Theo seems to be having quite some challenges. We're connecting to him all the way from the US, so I don't know if that's what is creating the challenge at the moment.
I could hear him actually.
Cynthia, we can hear him.
I think I can hear somebody else in the background saying something.
I'm saying we can hear him.
Okay, just one moment, please. He's trying to backdoor me. Let me just try and understand what's wrong.
We hear him loud and clear.
Theo, can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so if you can hear me, then please carry on.
Yeah, so I mentioned, so we are looking at self-awareness and how it can improve your performance at work. And so if you put the pieces together, it makes sense.
When Eunice was talking, I could hear her.
And like I mentioned, I'm giving you in the military what we do and how we get the best out of ourselves is to first of all have a strong mind, and then a strong body. The strong body you have to work on. That one, I mean, you know yourself. You know what makes you perform at your best. You know what makes you sleep. And for most of us, I used to drink every night and then party. If I have a serious presentation or a serious work to do, I stay out of alcohol drink. I stay out of partying, and I rest enough. And I concentrate on probably go to the gym and walk a lot and everything. So it helps. A strong body also helps the brain too. Because when the brain is at its peak performance, it has to work with a peak performance body. It's as simple as that. If your brain is sharp and your body is not in a good shape to carry it, what's the point? So everything has to be aligned. It has to be at your neutral point where the brain is sharp, the brain is alert, the body is sharp, is also alert, and then your spirit love what you do. Like I said, I was saying earlier, most of you guys HR found yourself there. You probably, your personality doesn't fit into HR being human resource. Your relationship with people is not on point. So that's your blind spot. So you have to work on it. And probably it's stuff like that. It's only a good friend who will tell you. And then pick feedback from the people you manage. You're managing people, and for the most part, everybody else is quitting the organization or they have a problem with you. You can feel the vibe. Like, get people honest feedback. It tells you, once you get that, then you know what your weaknesses are. You do your SWOT analysis on yourself. You know that probably my personality type and the kind of work that you're doing, you probably should be a nurse, sitting there somewhere taking care of 1 or 2 patients. But you are in HR, dealing with a lot of people in the organization, and all these people have different personalities. So if you don't know yourself, you don't know how to deal with them. It's as simple as that. So, and it also affects how the people that you work with. Your personality probably, if you put them together, your personality brings a negative vibe, a negative energy. And that's the more reason why probably they are not performing. And you are the only one performing in the room, you are wrong. And if you think you are the only one that you are doing your best, you are wrong too. So that's self-awareness. You have blind spots. You need to know. The only way you will know is when you engage yourself. Ask yourself questions. Pick the vibe around you. It's awareness. Pick the surroundings. How people respond to you. What's the vibe when I get to people? What's the performance? My teammates. If you're performing and everybody else around is performing, that's because iron is sharpening iron. So if I'm a peak performance, my mates know. However, know yourself and know when you perform your best. There are some tasks I put it down and wait till the time that I'm at my peak. That's because I know myself. At my peak, I'll do that thing in an hour. So when people come to work back in the days and they do their topmost priority work in the morning, I do mine almost close to the close of the day, because that's when I'm about to take off. So if because I know myself, I engage my bosses and they know. If you need a report in 3 days' time or tomorrow, and you need it like during the day in the morning, give it to me the night before. I'll get it done. But if you give me in the morning and you're expecting it in the afternoon, I will do it, but you get what I mean? I know myself. I'm honest to you as my boss and everything. This is how you get the best out of me. Most of you HRs, you are HRs. Yes, but if we should appraise you, you probably fall average. But you are appraising other people. So you should know your blind spot also. That's how you perform your best. Self-awareness and how it impacts on your work. It's as simple as that. Your strong mind, working with your strong body, get some rest. Strong mind, this is how you develop it. Read books and motivational speech and other stuff that are it's in line with what you are doing. Know the latest policies they pass concerning human resource, like the labor laws now maybe amended, other things, the minimum wage and other stuff. So be on top of your game. That's how you develop the, so that you can perform well. Secondly, is the body, like I talked about. Exercise well. If a good body will give you a good vibe, it will give you the confidence and everything. You look good, you confidently, everything exudes around you. We can tell, we can feel the vibe. It's the same thing as a strong spirit. The spirit around you, if you love what you're doing, you're passionate about that you didn't find yourself working because that provides the money, we can tell. And if it's your passion, we can tell. It's a vibe. You cannot hide it. You do whatever you want, but we, the people working with you, we can tell. And it also affects the performance in everything. You can hate it or like it. It's as simple as that. Once you are aware of yourself and what makes you perform better, you do better. And then the strong spirit, and then the strong character. This character, I'm not talking about, what kind of people you want to. So sorry. First of all, I talked about strong people around the community or resource people. So it's very important to. It also affects you, the kind of friendship you keep at work and everything. If you want to go up, you move with people who are going up. I mentioned earlier on in my presentation that for somebody to tell you I'll cross a river with you, first question is, have you crossed yourself? If you have not crossed the river yourself, you are not at your peak performance. I don't want to associate with you. So it's as simple as that: strong mind, strong body, strong spirit, strong relationship, strong community. So the community, the people you keep will also impact on because I used to keep friends who every time, where's the next party? When are we going to meet? When are we going to have drinks? And they're not going where I'm going. So HRs manage the human side and the resources. And this is the only way you can manage it, and know yourself and have a good relationship with everybody. They all come in different personalities and different vibes and different way, the way they do their stuff. If you try to manage them with a straight jacket, you are wrong. Yes, you're HR. You can do by the law or by whatever the policies organization says. However, if you want to have a good impact on people, it's your relationship with them. And check your personality. If your personality says you're phlegmatic, you're good. You're sanguine, you're good. But however, choleric and other stuff, then check your blind spots. Because those people, they probably don't cherish, they are not that outgoing type and other stuff. So if you check all those things and you know your personality and your traits, you know that your blind spot is probably you don't keep relationship well. HR job is relationship with people. It's not just come and sit there and interpret what the labor law says or whatever. You don't get efficiency, performance, work performance by just doing that. When you keep a good relationship, people vibe with people and they know the human side of it, the relationship, they produce their best. Even these days, up until when I left the military a year ago in the US Navy, they've stopped obeying my command thing. They've stopped it. So even the military have realized if you keep a good relationship with people, they produce their best. Then you as an organization, civilian organized people, they just apply and came. And they're working there. Try so they don't quit you. A lot of people, like I said earlier, they quit people who manage them rather than the job. Because their personality or their self, they make it hard for people to perform or do their work or engage in the organization or like the place. So if you are that type, then probably that's your blind spot. And if you don't know, you are impacting the performances of others negatively. So it is very important that you know yourself before you can manage other people. Manage yourself. Be at your peak performance. If you can't do that, you're wrong in trying to manage other people, human resource. And how are you using the resources? If everybody is quitting and you have high turnover, address it. So can we get some questions? There are so many aspects, but I think if we limit it to this, the strong mind,
Yes.
strong body, strong spirit, and strong community, I think you'll do better.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nii. Very interesting points you've actually made. And I mean, as Eunice earlier on said, most of us are in that part of our career where we're still trying to understand who we really are and if this is actually what we want to be doing for the next, 10, 20, 30 years, depending on what age it is you registered in the books.
Right.
Now, if we have to work remotely as it is now, if I am not a morning person, how would you suggest I manage it when most of my Zoom meetings are scheduled for the morning?
Right.
How would you want an individual to try and prop themselves up and just be up to the speed that their managers are expecting them to work at.
Right.
So that's the first one. Yeah.
So like I was saying, you see, if you know yourself and you know when you work better, you have to be honest to your boss. When I again, let me use practical. When I was in the military, my boss knows. Like I told, you see, I was honest. I like, look, this is my timing. This is the kind of person I am. Nocturnal, night hawk. This is when I perform best. However, we need to, be at our best in the morning too. So I do. So if there are reports, you're working remote, and your reports and stuff that you're supposed to get ready, excuse me, in the morning, I do them better at night, because that's when I have an eagle's eye that I can view the reports. I can check everything in the details and everything, read over and read and make sure everything is. In the morning, I'm doing just reports and answering emails and doing the light work. But if I have to pay attention and make sure I come up with a good report, that's when I do it at night. So that if whatever I'm supposed to do, I'm present tomorrow, I work it this night. I stay up and I do it. So I can get 3 hours sleep and I'm okay. You cannot. So you have to know yourself. So I shift all the major parts of the work. If it was remote, I'm still working remote. I'm still lecturing remote. But guess what? Now, to the extent that now I record some of my trainings in the evening when I'm at my best. And then during the day, I'm engaging my students, every night. So do you have any questions? Okay, read this chapter, then let me explain to you. But if I have to put down my report, so, my curriculum report and everything, and then give it to the dean, I do it at night. So I'm not saying in the day I'm not working. However, if I have anything, if you want that eagle's eye, I do at my peak performance. So like I said, I don't eat banku and other stuff at night because I want to be alert. So that's when I drink my milkshake, and I'm eating stuff that will put me in that alert mode where I'm at my peak performance. That is the self. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it means that even the kind of diet you decide to have must be well selected from what you're saying.
Cynthia, you can't put anything to chance. When I was in the military, if we have a serious mission, they put us on a regimen. We don't just eat. No, seriously. And watch this: footballers, athletes, any kind of sports guys, those who have hired nutritionists, or they have a serious regimen that they eat, watch their performance. And those who just leave it to chance. No, seriously, you can argue it all you want, but that's the reason why some are great and some are just. You get what I mean? Okay,
right. So, if
I have a serious presentation, serious work coming up, veggies take like 80% of my food. My peas, my green peas, my carrots, my lettuce, mixed with some olive oil, put a little bit in there, and then a little bit of probably egg, maybe the yolk, and my milkshake. So at that point, trust me, give me any book, and in like 2 days, I'm done.
Okay. Now, you did talk about blind spots. Can you just elaborate a bit on that? How are we supposed to identify our blind spots, and to what detriment can it be if we do not know anything about it?
Okay, so this is where I'm talking about knowing, like reading vibes. I use vibe because I guess that's more modern and like kind of young guys kind of thing. In other words, Cynthia, if I'm talking to you, I'm not listening to only the words. I'm listening to the message in the words. In other words, and your body language, everything mixed together. Plus, I'm watching your character. So that there's some people you have a conversation with, and the next minute you hear it from somebody else. So now let's bring it home to the question you asked. What's your sound? That's why it's called awareness. If you are alert and smart, and your body is at peak performance, your brain is at peak performance, your spirit is at peak performance, everything is neutral. You pick the surroundings and you get feedback. That's when you know your blind spot. So Cynthia, if your conversation with people is not good, it should not take a crowd to let you know. 2, 3, 4 around the people around you, you should know. And you should know why they're avoiding you. That's when you become alert. No, because a lot of us, we've not trained to pick vibes. That's why we probably operate at that, and we wonder why a lot of people come to the organization, they get a promotion or other stuff, or people come and eventually everybody likes them the way they, they do their stuff. It's the vibe. Some people have taken time to train that side of them, so they dominate. Because you cannot go anywhere without relationship.
Right.
Yeah,
the power of networking, right?
Yeah, so if you don't know how to relate, if you probably don't like people and engaging with them, check your personality type. There are tests you can take online, and it will tell you. However, it will tell you your negative, the side where probably is not going to work out for you well, and then it will also translate into what career you should even choose.
Yeah.
So that my personality, I've realized serious phlegmatic mixed with sanguine. We are out there. However, I have a phlegmatics. We are goal oriented. However, we are outspoken and everything. So my kind of job is the lecturing thing that I'm doing, or consultancy. I realized that very quick. So you know why? At any point in time when I'm in my class, my student love and I peak performance, it's because I have trained myself to fall in line with. Give me a job.
Still,
I was an accountant. Let me answer this question real quick. I was an accountant.
Right.
I realized I didn't like the fact that I'll be by the computer and be entering receipts that people have spent the money already, sitting by the computer. Always the computer is my friend. No. I was outgoing type. So I transitioned from accounting into the behavioral science that I'm doing right now. I'm dealing with people. So that's self-awareness. I realized what frustrates me very early in my life. So your blind spot, you can pick it up by being aware of your environment.
Okay.
So even if your kids, watch them. Sometimes the food that you cook is not good, but they're not able to tell you because they are scared of your reaction. Oh, I'm serious. It's a blind spot. But if you develop the relationship side, it will be easy for them. Life is easy. Don't make it extra hard. Like life as it is already hard. It's easy. But I realize anybody who's become self-aware, life is simple with them. It's easy to deal with them. No matter how complicated, how the number of degrees they get and everything, it's easy. You can say like they are in their vibe. Cynthia, how many times haven't you and we are joking about stuff like my degrees and stuff don't define me.
Yeah.
They don't make me. I'm fulfilled without it. However, I needed to go to where I'm going because I'm self-aware.
Okay. Right. That's fine. Good. So a double-edged question here. What if you realize from doing self-awareness tests, I mean a personal thing, and you realize that you are too forthcoming in your team? You have a very strong, dominant, character, and it seems to be making some of your teammates, just cowards or just feel like they are incompetent for the job. What advice will you give to such a person? And then the other side is, what if you seem to be the one doing all the job in that space? However, some loud mouth or some smart ass guy is taking all the credit for it. What would you suggest that we do in that case?
This is practical. This is how I will solve the situation. I found myself in that situation a lot, and when I was in the military, I realized, like I said, when I became self-aware, I realized where I perform better and how I do my stuff and how I arrange my stuff. And I wanted my boss, my commander, not to treat me like anybody else because I know myself. So I communicate with him so he will know when I'm at my peak and when I'm not. I'm human. So it's the same way. If you will find yourself, like I said earlier on, you are the only one doing the job. You've realized yourself, but you've not helped others realize themselves. It's as simple as that. You see, they are wallowing in their shallow minds and in themselves conflicted self. So you have realized yourself. However, the importance of being self-aware is the fact that you manage your emotions and you're able to manage other people's emotions too. So that when I talked about the vibe, you're picking signals. If you are the only person performing, like I said, then you are aware of yourself. However, it should translate into them knowing themselves too, and in the team. Now, that is a strong one. That is difficult. To help people develop themselves is a strong one. Sometimes you probably, the only thing you have to just let them know is just talk to them probably, and then recommend them going through some process, or also taking the test and also getting a coach. But you need to find a relationship, build a relationship with them first. That's why teamwork, no team can perform better without a relationship. The communication and everything, the vibe. If you find a team that is performing better, that's because the vibe is there. They understand each other. So if you find yourself doing the only work, you're probably the elite amongst them. You found yourself. However, they have not. And so either way, you are wrong. You should help them find themselves too. Because you didn't just get there. You did A, B, C, D. You're dominating because probably that's your personality. Some of them, the part where you mentioned that you probably are outspoken and everything, being outspoken doesn't make you right every time too. So being aware of yourself, the fact that you're outspoken, you want to dominate in everything, it's still not, it's not a good sign too. And that's the negative side of some of the personality traits too. Yes, you are domineering, but let it dominate in the kind of reports or stuff that you produce. Don't do it at the detriment of other people, or it should not be the point where it brings other people's confidence down. Because Cynthia, you get what I mean? There's some people, they add some kind of sassy to it, and some, you get what I mean? I know. No. Because trust me, for them to be hired, they might have some skill that a company needs. However, you can push people to be quiet or silent based on the way your attitude with them. So you think your personality is domineering, or overtaking, or saying all that kind of stuff. However, that's your blind spot. So it should be in sync with what everybody else is doing. Don't be too loud. Don't be the loudest person in the room.
If you have to be the loudest person in the room, you should have a very big head. I mean,
pretty much.
It means that you should have a lot of intellect to share, of course. Now,
then you probably should be a gun.
In fact, I didn't say that one. That one came from you. The Garmancha would attend to you on that one. Now,
I told you we should do
of course. Now, right? How do you reconcile your internal self, awareness processes with the external self-awareness processes? Now, for example, if after running an assessment on myself, I feel that I have some values, some passions, but then I also think that I'm a very quiet person. And yet, from the external, people see that I'm all over. And so they expect that every now and then I should be all bubbly and, just, jolly go. But they don't get that in some instances. And so they have difficulty trying to relate to the kind of personality you have. What suggestions would you have for us? How do we reconcile the internal self-awareness with the external self-awareness, which has been done either by you or some other persons?
Right. I would say, you see, some of these conflicting things, the internal processes and external processes, they're not, some people have the will and it's easy for them to process and solve it. However, not everybody can do that. In that instance, get a coach. Get a coach or somebody who is where you are and you want to get there. It's 90% the chance that if you want to be an HR director and you are the HR manager, you want to get there. 90% chance whatever you're going to face, your director has faced it. So even if the person is not a certified or trained life coach, they probably have experiences, one or two, that they can teach you in a conversation. So that's why I'm saying relationship with people is very important. And then they can also give you, open up to you. You get what I mean? So the only process, some of them, the best, because for me, my commander in the military helped me a lot, both on my academic side and processing people and other stuff, because I was the team lead at one point. I was leading a platoon. And my command, at one point, they brought a lot of people. We had 150 people. And I was that African guy from Jamestown who is leading a lot of people in the US Navy. Hello. You see, different personalities. Processing myself was a big deal to even manage them. So this is where you see, you need guidance for a lot of people. Depending on your personality trait, everybody, you have blind spots. Everybody. For me, at one point, I have to be told, I'm always like out there. I trust people a lot. Like immediately, no, I meet you. I want to connect. Like, can we get in touch? Why didn't I hear from you? I thought we are trying. Then I realized, you see, this is my blind spot too. A lot of people betrayed me. I realized, okay, you're too out there. You're too outgoing. It's the same thing you're talking about. That's the conflicting side I had. I thought when I meet you and you've talked to me, the vibe is we are friends. Cynthia, is that making sense? But you see, some people can
yes, absolutely.
Some people can meet you and have a conversation with you. You've not transitioned to a friend yet. But to me, I was processing it. Oh, we had a good talk. We are friends. Cholerics, they're social animals. They're there. I'm a mixture of the choleric and the phlegmatic, which is I'm goal-oriented. However, I do my stuff through entertainment. That's why I play disc jockey and everything. I love music. Music should be around me. People study in the library. I can't. I should be under the tree with music and I'll be studying. I'll perform you. So I'm talking about, it's all coming to self-awareness. Know yourself. So if you come and meet me in the room, drumming and reading at the same time, don't you dare think that I'm not. Put that exam down and I'll show you. I'll show you where your level is. So know yourself. That's how a lot of our kids go to secondary school. They go and follow the wrong crowd, and then as brilliant as they were in GSS, they don't perform. They don't know themselves. They don't
That's true.
Exactly. And that thing transition into work too. Very few people fall into the point where they can manage pressure. They manage to cramp up during SSC time and they make it and they get to the university. And then the university, they realize a different ballgame. So you realize, Cynthia, when we're secondary school, those who were sharks, they get to university, they are no more sharks.
Well, not every one of them.
Exactly.
You didn't change. So.
Oh. So, so some of us, you pick your personality and then pick a career or fight your internal. You cannot fight it. Sometimes some of you people, some of us, we probably don't need a certified or like a trained life coach. You just need somebody who's been there, somebody who can just see you, have a relationship and tell you, you know what, maybe you talk too much when you meet people. Maybe, maybe you should lay back a little. Maybe you wear loud colors when you're going to go for those meetings. You send a signal or you overdress, all those stuff. You see, you need to, it has to be balanced, neutral. I don't know if you understand what I mean. That's your self-awareness. So
I do.
You want to you're going to a friend's wedding and you've overdressed more than the bride. You should know. Are you taking the attention for what? You're going to celebrate somebody's wedding and you are the one now they are looking at. I mean, clearly, you should know.
I've already asked the bride not to dress now. And the bride had a choice. That is one of my fault.
Cynthia, I can
shut up a wedding.
Cynthia, I suspect you.
I mean, if you invite me to your program, then you ought to look the part.
No, but you see,
and I won't come and look in your wardrobe.
You see, when you've been around for a long time, and I'm sure you know, like some of these things, it's like you can explain it all you want, but you see, you dress for that. That's why do you think we can wear kabaya sleeve to the office? It's not appropriate for the occasion. So meaning you are aware of some things, but it's just up to a certain degree. So to be at your peak performance, you have to know yourself and pick the surroundings, the vibe in the surroundings around you. Your friend, I'm telling you, I said assessment of your performance, it's somebody's perception of you. So that if I have a good relationship with Cynthia, and I know Cynthia does that, Cynthia is good at this, I'll leverage Cynthia's strength to some report. When I was working at Unilever, there were young guys in the treasury department. However, I realized our boss was very strategic. There's some jobs he would just call, like he kind of assessed us in our area of strength. He will get it done. Depending on the time and what kind of report he wants. Even though we were all numbers-oriented accounting, finance, there are some that are more detailed numbers than some. Am I making sense?
Yes, absolutely. You are. So then So it goes to say that also when you're a line manager, you need to be able to look at the people you're dealing with and then be able to leverage on their self-awareness traits as well, from what you're saying.
You got it. That's how my team.
And that will feed directly into your productivity.
Exactly. So this is where I was talking about. If you are the only one doing a lot of like the most important, like doing all the good work, and you feel like you are outperforming or you're doing the hard work in the team, you are wrong. You that's your blind spot. Okay. Empower people. You find yourself. You see, the whole importance of knowing yourself is to be able to manage yourself and manage other people. Manage yourself first. So I have been able to overcome my challenges, my fears, and all my process and conflicting stuff. So I'm not more complicated. I'm not a complicated person. I'm easy, free flow. Like I said, a lot of people, it's the ego and the arrogance. It conflicts a lot of things. It's not, so probably the things that you are thinking is not what it is. The ego, I'm the HR. You get what I mean? You have a blind spot. The moment your position and your degrees and other stuff change, like it influences and impacts the way you deliver and everything, it's a blind spot. So you should be free.
Perfect. Right.
You should be, regardless your degree. I tell my students, don't call me doctor. Just say like Theo, let's go, let's move. That way, relationship. Yeah. And I realize I impact a lot of the students more when you have that relationship. You teach with that kind of free fun. They can talk to you. We can give examples and laugh. And I wish somebody taught me that way. So when I became a professor, I'm like, you know what? This is the new age. Get the students closer to you. That way you become their role model. They want to. You get what I mean? You impact them more than come and stand there. Okay, did you do the work that you're supposed to do? 10% max off your. No. No, it doesn't. You don't impact them that way. So the kind of professors that we've been through from Kevas, Legon, wherever, those who immediately tell us only 10 of you people will pass, it has affected you subconsciously. And so you walk through life, you get to the point where you become a manager, and then you also want to show that kind of style because subconsciously that's how you were trained. And you don't know, you've picked it up. So you're not self-aware. You need somebody who genuinely a friend or a coach who will tell you, look, this is what it is. It's not even anything. This is just that. And some of us, the HRs, if we get to find our blind spot, will be amazing. We'll make the organization's amazing place to work. And it will impact on even the profit, the bottom line of the organization. I've been to organizations where like people, they just come to work, they don't care. No? So anything extra, and you can see that in the ministries. And you can go to an organization where people work with passion, even when like, hey, let me make sure I turn off the light. Like, did I check the light was off? See, the interest is there. Like they want to make sure the organization succeeds. And it doesn't just happen. The people in the position, the line managers and everything, you are aware of yourself, and you, because of that, you manage the people well. The soft side, very important more than the skill. No, I'm serious.
Perfect.
So in the military, we say the commander is as good as the platoon. In other words, if you find a platoon, like a group of the sailors in one place performing at their peak performance, watch their commander. They're a reflection of their commander. So right now, as an organizational development consultant, when I enter into most organizations, I just straight away I can tell who the CEO, like the personality of the CEO or the director, the department head. It's as simple as that. No, see, tell me I'm wrong.
Oh no, I mean, who am I to say that the professor is wrong? I mean, everything you've said by far at some point. But I want to bring the session. I would have to bring the session to. Yeah, I'd have to bring the session to an end. So, Theo, just quickly, what are your last, inputs to us? What do you want us to take home today from, everything we've discussed by far?
All right, so it's very simple. Get like, good friends who you have a vibe with and pick signals from them. be approachable so they can tell you your blind spots. And honestly, sometimes ask. See, don't be out there thinking you're all bubbly, bossy, and calm down. Maintain your level like Adole. Relax. It's human institution. If you find yourself degrees and positions and your cars and your houses is changing your character, that's a blind spot. If you are out dressing and outspoken and everybody else, relax. Maybe your personality, but you tame it down a little bit. So find that neutral ground, find that neutrality where your mind, your body, your spirit, what you love, what you do, and maintain good friends around you. Life is simple, and your performance will be here. Adena.
Thank you so much, Theo. Thank you. I'm so grateful that you made the time for us. I know I've had to chase you for a whole year just to get you right here in this spot.
Oh, Cynthia, did you
but
have to
I'm
say
super
this?
grateful.
Really? Did you have to say this?
How else? Where else? So thank you so much. I know you've been very busy because of your road tour.
Yeah.
But I'm so grateful that today you could find the time to share thoughts with us. And I'm certain that a lot more people have taken much more than even the summary you gave. I think all of us will now need to sit down and start thinking seriously about where it is we want to get to, especially that things have all changed. And so I want to take the opportunity to say thank you to everyone who joined us tonight. It's been great having you. We hope we have been able to impact you. As we keep saying, we want to change a life at a time. And so we hope that we've been able to change some aspects of your life so that you can go out there and be more productive and change the lives around you. And so Theo, once more, I salute you and I say thank you.
Thank you.
Have a very, very good, you have a good day, and then everybody else have a good night. So your day has just begun,
Yeah.
So thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow at the hot seat. We may have a surprise guest. So check it out. Have a very good night. Bye, everyone.
Let it fall.